Yes, listen everyone now. Be attended. Joint effect of preference shares and debentures. First of all, we have to find, understand it first. Who is talking still? First of all, we have to find incremental EPS due to preference shares and debentures separately. Now, what is this incremental EPS? Incremental EPS is equal to incremental earnings divided by incremental number of shares. Means only the addition part, like in debentures. What do you add in the existing profits? No, in profits. I said. For debentures, what do you add in the existing profits? Interest and minus tax. So that interest minus tax is incremental earnings. And what do you add in existing number of shares? Potential equity shares. That potential equity shares is incremental number of shares. You understand the word incremental? The part which is increasing. Same way when we find effect of preference shares. What do we add in profits? Preference dividend as well as dividend distribution tax. So preference dividend plus dividend distribution tax is incremental earnings. And what do we add in number of shares? Potential equity shares. So potential equity shares is incremental number of shares. Did everyone of you understand this? So first you will find incremental EPS due to preference shares and debentures separately. Then rank the securities in the order of rank the securities in the order of most dilutive to least dilutive. Now, how will you rank the securities from most dilutive to least dilutive? Wherever incremental EPS is less, that is more dilutive. Less incremental EPS means EPS is going to fall more. And wherever incremental EPS is more, that is considered to be less dilutive. Inverse relation. So how will you rank the securities in the order of most dilutive to least dilutive? More incremental EPS means less dilutive. More incremental EPS means less dilutive, inverse relation, and less incremental EPS means more dilutive. Did everyone of you understand this? Then we will find diluted EPS taking the effect of more dilutive security first and then less dilutive security. When you find this diluted EPS, you get 2 diluted EPS. Suppose debentures are more diluted out of the 2. Then first you will find diluted EPS taking the effect of debentures. After that you will find the diluted EPS taking the effect of preference shares, joint effect of both. Here you will find that first EPS will go down and then EPS will go up. So the point where it turns from low to high is reported to the shareholders. Diluted EPS means the decreasing EPS. So at whichever point the EPS is the minimum, that EPS will be reported to the shareholders. Means in future, preference shares and debentures are not going to be converted into equity shares simultaneously. They are going to be converted at different point of time. So at a point of time, whenever one security is converted into another, what will be the EPS at that point of time? That we have to see. And in future, whenever the EPS is going to go at the minimum point, that we have to report to the shareholders. So when you find the effect of the securities one by one, you'll find that initially EPS will go down, then it will start increasing. So the point where it is the minimum, that will be reported to the shareholders. Okay, and that is the reason why we don't take the cumulative effect, as we discussed yesterday, that add interest minus tax, add preference dividend, add DDT all together. Why we cannot do it all together? Because both are not going to be converted into equity shares at the same point of time. Okay, debentures will be converted into equity shares at some other date, and preference shares will be converted into equity shares at some other date. So in future, at any point of time, when the EPS is going to be minimum, that diluted EPS we have to report to the shareholders. So first we will find diluted EPS taking the effect of more diluted security, which we have ranked here. Then again we will find diluted EPS taking the effect of less diluted security. And the point from where EPS turns from low to high will be reported to shareholders. So did you understand the basic purpose of doing all this? And once again, why we cannot add both of them simultaneously? Like in debentures you add interest minus tax, preference you add dividend, add DDT. Why we cannot add all the 4 and directly find diluted EPS at one point only? Because in future, debentures will be converted into equity shares at a different point of time, and preference shares will be converted into equity shares at a different point of time. We have to report to the shareholders in future at any point of time what would be the minimum EPS that would go down. That we have to report to the shareholders. So we take the effect of both of them one by one. Okay. Most important from exam point of view. Majority times they have been asking this kind of question only, where they give you debentures also and preference also. And did everyone understand the logic behind doing these steps? Because both the securities will not be converted into equity shares at the same point of time. Okay. Completed everyone? So look at question number 12. If everyone has written it, be attentive now. ABC Limited has 20 lakhs equity shares on 1/4/14. Make it 1/4/17. Let us take it from current year because rate of DDT also will change accordingly. Potential equity shares of ABC are as under: 8%, 8 lakh convertible preference shares of rupees 100 each to be converted into 2 equity shares. They will, how many potential equity shares will be there? All of you are then converted into 2 equity shares. 8 lakhs into 2, 16 lakhs. 1 preference share will be converted into 2 equity shares. So 8 lakh preference shares into how many equity shares? 8 lakhs into 2 by 1, 16 lakhs. Attributable corporate dividend tax Act, make it 20.36%. Instead of 10%, make it 20.36%. Further, what will be the dividend? Mansi? Yes. 64 lakhs. 8 lakhs preference shares into 100 rupees 8 crores into 8% dividend 64 lakhs. Did you understand this? 12% convertible debentures of 100 each, nominal value rupees 10 crores, convertible into 4 equity shares. Priyan, how many equity shares potential? Yes? How do you get 40 lakhs? 40 lakhs or 40 crores? What did you say? No, 40 crores is wrong. 40 lakhs is right. Unlike rupees 10 crores, 10 crores is not the number of debentures, it is a value, nominal value. So first of all, 10 crores divided by 100 rupees face value, what would be the number of debentures? 10 lakhs. Okay, 10 crores divided by 100 face value, what would be the number of debentures? 10 lakhs. Now, one debenture converted into 4 equity shares. So 10 lakh debentures into how many? 10 lakh into 4 by 1, 40 lakhs. Is everyone clear with this? And ISC interest, 10 crores into 12%. 10 crores is the value of debentures, 12% interest, 1 crore 20 lakhs. The net profit attributable to equity shareholders is rupees 1 crore 50 lakhs. The dividend distribution tax applicable make this 20.36%. Calculate diluted EPS. Is everyone clear with the question? So first of all, we will find incremental EPS due to the effect of preference shares and debentures separately, one by one. So let us do that first. First, give the heading incremental EPS. Due to which information is given first in the question, preference or debentures? So let us take due to preference shares first. Incremental EPS due to preference shares. Now, as I said, incremental earnings and incremental number of shares. What did I discuss with you? What is incremental earnings? In case of preference shares, what is incremental earnings? Profit is not to be, what we used to add in profits, that is incremental earnings. What do we used to add in profits? Preference dividend and dividend distribution tax. So, how much is preference dividend? ₹8 lakhs into rupees 100 into 8%. 64 lakhs. Okay. You understood the meaning of incremental? What we used to add in profits and number of shares, that is incremental. Further, what we used to add in case of dividend? Dividend distribution tax on preference dividend. Himalaya, how will you count this? 8 lakhs into. Come on. Shalini?
64 lakh into 20.5.
DDT is counted and it's written DDT on preference dividend. On 64 lakhs you count the DDT. 64 lakhs into 20.36%.
13 lakh.
Yes?
13 lakh 3,040.
So 77 lakhs 3,040 is incremental earnings. Is everyone clear with the meaning of incremental earnings? What we used to add in the profits and number of shares is incremental. Okay, same way what we would add in the number of shares is incremental number of shares. So how do we find that is? For one preference share, it is going to be converted into 2 equity shares. So 8 lakh preference shares into how many? Means incremental number of shares are 8 lakhs into 2 by 1, 16 lakhs. Any confusion in this? And now we can find incremental EPS, incremental earnings divided by incremental number of shares. Therefore, incremental EPS is equal to incremental earnings divided by incremental number of shares. That is equal to 77,03,040 divided by 16 lakhs. 4.81. Raise your hand who did not understand this. Everyone is clear with this? Same way now we'll find incremental EPS due to debentures. Okay, separately you have to find for preference shares and debentures. Still we are doing step 1 only. We are finding incremental EPS due to preference shares and debentures separately. So now incremental EPS due to debentures. Share. How will we find incremental earnings?
10 lakhs into 100 into 12. 10 lakhs into 100.
But what is that?
Interest.
Interest on debentures. Interest on debentures, since 10 crores value is directly given, we can straight away do 10 crores into 12%. That is 1 crore 20 lakhs. Is everyone clear with this? What is share?
Tax.
Minus tax on interest. How would you count that?
1 crore 20 lakhs into 30%.
1 crore 20 lakhs into 30%. 36 lakhs. So 84 lakhs is incremental earnings. Raise your hand who did not understand this incremental earnings. All are clear with this? What we used to add in profits in case of debentures, that is incremental earnings. Now we want incremental number of shares. Richa. So one debenture will be converted into 4 equity shares. So 10 lakh debentures, how many? How did we get 10 lakhs? 10 crore divided by 100. The number of debentures are 10 lakhs, 10 crore divided by 100. Okay? So incremental number of shares is equal to 10 lakhs into 4 by 1, 40 lakhs. Understood this, everyone? Now we can find incremental EPS. Therefore, incremental EPS is equal to incremental earnings divided by incremental number of shares. incremental earnings 84 lakhs upon incremental number of shares 40 lakhs rupees 2.1. So 84 lakhs divided by 40 lakhs 2.1. So first step is done. Anyone who did not understand this, how to find the incremental EPS due to preference shares and debentures separately, all are clear with this? Raise your hand who is still writing up till here. Now see the second step. Rank the securities in the order of most dilutive to least dilutive. More EPS means less dilutive, less EPS means more dilutive. Which EPS is less? Debentures. So can I say this will be rank 1, more dilutive, and which is more EPS? 4.81. This will be ranked as 2. Means debentures are more dilutive and preference shares are less dilutive. Do you understand this? Give this rank. Once again, rank the securities in the order of most dilutive to least dilutive. More EPS means less dilutive, less EPS means more dilutive. So which one is more dilutive, which has less EPS, that is 2.1. And which one is less dilutive, which has more EPS, that is 4.81. Is everyone clear with the ranking? Now we will find diluted EPS taking the effect of more dilutive first. Means which one will you take first? Debentures. And you'll find diluted EPS. Then we will add preference shares, less dilutive, and again we'll find diluted EPS. And wherever it turns from low to high will be reported to shareholders. So understand how will we do that now? Table showing EPS, particulars, then number of shares, then profits, then EPS, and then remarks. Put your pens down, understand this procedure step completely, then you can note it down. First of all, what are the existing number of equity shares? What are the existing number of equity shares? 20 lakhs. Listen carefully everyone. Okay, what are the existing number of equity shares? 20 lakhs. In the first sentence, can you all find that? What are the existing profits attributable to equity shareholders? Last sentence. 1 crore 50 lakhs. 1 crore 50 lakhs existing profits divided by 20 lakhs existing number of shares, rupees 7.5. Can I say it is basic EPS? Basic EPS means existing profits divided by existing number of shares. Which securities effect is to be added first? Which securities effect is to be added first? Debentures, that is ranked as 1, that is more diluted. So first we will add effect of debentures. What are the incremental number of shares due to debentures? What are the incremental number of shares due to debentures? 40 lakhs. So after debentures are converted into equity shares, the revised number of shares will be 60 lakhs. As I said, we have to find them one by one. Joint effect is not to be given because both will be converted at different point of time. What will be the incremental profits due to debentures? 84 lakhs. You understand this? So after debentures are converted, what will be the revised profits? 2 crore 34 lakhs. Is everyone clear with this? 1 crore 50 lakhs plus 84 lakhs, 2 crore 34 lakhs. Now this revised profits 2 crore 34 lakhs divided by revised number of shares 60 lakhs. What is the EPS? 3.9. Is the EPS going down? Means can I say debentures are dilutive? Then we add the effect of second rank. Then we add the effect of preference shares. Now we add the effect of preference shares. That is what I have written in step 3. Find diluted EPS taking the effect of more dilutive security first. Which is the more dilutive security? Debentures. So we have obtained diluted EPS taking the effect of debentures first, and then taking the effect of less dilutive security. So now we are taking the effect of preference shares. What are the incremental number of shares due to preference shares? 16 lakhs. Means revised number of shares will be 60 plus 16, 76 lakhs. Any doubt with this? What is the incremental profits? 77 lakh 3040. What will be the revised profits after preference shares are converted? 2 crore 30 plus 73 crore 11 lakhs 3040. Any doubt in this? Now what is the formula? Revised profits 3 crore 11 lakhs 3040 divided by revised number of shares 76 lakhs 4.09. Now from 3.9 it is increasing to 4.09. So can I say that preference shares will be anti-dilutive? Because EPS is increasing. The point from where EPS turns from low to high. From which point EPS turns from low to high? 3.9 will be reported to shareholders. What diluted EPS will you report to the shareholders? 3.9. 3.9 will be the minimum EPS that will go down in future, even if debentures and preference shares are converted one by one. Okay. One more thing, you may have a question in your mind. If we would have added preference shares first and then debentures, means in future, here we are assuming first what will get converted into equity shares? Debentures, then preference. But preference can also get converted first. We don't know which is going to get converted first. Okay. But because debentures are more dilutive, even if preference shares get converted into equity shares first, EPS would come more than 3.9 only. Understood that? Even if preference shares get converted before debentures, EPS would come more than 3.9. So what is the lowest EPS that is going to come down in future? 3.9. Okay, just for example, what is 1 crore 50 plus 77? 227. Through 2 crore 27 lakh 3040. 227 03040 divided by 36 lakhs. Is it more than 3.9 or not? So even if preference shares get converted first, it will not go below 3.9. If you follow this procedure, then you get the accurate idea that what is the minimum EPS, minimum extent of EPS going to fall down in future. So when you go in this order, most dilutive to less dilutive, you will always get the correct minimum EPS. Is everyone clear with this? Any doubts up till here? So make this table, then I will make you write the conclusion below that. Completed everyone? Right down below that, thus it can be seen from the above table that EPS decreases from rupees 7.5 to rupees 3.9 and then increases to rupees 4.09. Full stop. The point from where EPS turns from low to high, that is rupees 3.9, will be reported as diluted EPS to equity shareholders. Did you understand this? So the chapter is over. Question 14 is similar of 12 only. Only existing number of shares and profits are different. There is no point in solving it. Your homework will be question 15A on the next page and 16A on the next page. 16A, the below one. Look at page 38. 16A, there are two questions of 16A. Don't tell me that you saw that it's already done, so did not solve it. The optional one, second question 16A, you'll find mid-March 2015. So that one, okay. And you take the rate of DDT as 20.36 only and solve it. Instead of 15.45, you take it as 20.36 and solve it. Okay. So the chapter is over now. Tomorrow I will be starting with unit 2, hoping that it will only be there in your mid-semester exam, unit 2 and 3. Because presently in college, unit 3, they have done that employees benefit standard, but that is a very complicated chapter, so I want to do it again only, because majority of you would have been absent there. So we'll take up with unit 2. In case if after unit 3 they take up with unit 4, we'll shift to unit 4. Okay, but one chapter of unit 2 will finish. So bye everyone, tomorrow same time and